Hey guys, welcome back to Travel Check-ins with Saidah
and Germaine.
Today we are going to be talking about the elephant in the room. We're talking about how the diaspora looks at Black Americans and think that maybe we or Black Americans in the US just complain too much, like we're not grateful for the privileges we have. And so today we want to dispel some of those myths, because sometimes it's easy to look at someone else's culture, someone else's society, the things they've done, and feel like you can analyze from the outside. So we want to kind of talk about some of those myths today, and just start the conversation around that. And the reason why is because we've been seeing some videos on YouTube where people were discussing the fact that, you know, Americans have all this privilege, but sometimes maybe we're not grateful for our privilege. So Germaine, you know, we're Black Americans, we're living in Kenya. Why do you think the American dream still looks good to so many people outside, but you have Black Americans who are actually leaving? So why does the American dream still look so good to people outside of the country?
I mean, America is a place that you can be financially successful, right?
For sure.
You can have financial security for your family. It's our home. I don't regret coming from America at all.
Not at all.
So I understand the allure of it. I mean, our kids there, our grandkids there, right? So, but you don't know everything that's there. So if you've never lived there, if you've never been a Black American, a Black person there, you would have no idea, really. So.
Right. So would you say that America is still a place of opportunity, as long as people know how to play the game and survive the system?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think people are going to America for morality, right? They're going for finances.
I never hear nobody say, you know what, I'm going to America because I love the morals. I want to be able to live free with my, religion and stuff like that.
This money.
That's always what it is, yeah.
It's capitalism, man. I don't have anything against capitalism, because, I mean, you get what you put in, pretty much, right? And so,
Sure.
Yeah.
So would you say that Black Americans do have privileges living in America and being Americans?
Yes, especially over when you're talking about some of the other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You have plenty of privileges, and you just got to know that. But it's hard to know that when you're within the bubble.
Yeah.
Because really, right, we've been on the bottom of the bubble, so it's kind of hard to know.
Yeah.
But I think most Americans, right, Black, white, whatever, they realize there's opportunities to do things.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
So in this video, we just want to talk about, we have privileges, but we're not going to sugarcoat some of the things that we still have to work through in our country.
Of course.
So let's talk about the reality check. We've seen people go to the West, leave their country, and then go to the US and get a serious wake-up call. So let's talk about the comments from people who moved to the US and said they get it now. Like, some of the issues they've experienced have been making friends, racial issues in the workplace. If someone is a foreigner not born inside the US and they want to go to the US, what would you tell them? And what do you tell some of the people that ask you, hey, I want to go to America?
I tell them, hey, I understand, but you got to realize what you're getting to. First of all, especially I talk to Kenyans right now, that's where we are, right? If you move to America, you no longer Kikuyu, Kalenjin, Luyo, Luya, you Black.
Yeah.
That's what you are. So there's no need to all that other stuff that how you grew up, people don't care.
Yeah.
If someone pulls you over, right, first thing they're going to see, he's Black.
Yeah.
We don't have on our applications Kikuyu. We don't have that on there. You Black, white, what an Asian, Latino, that's all you are. You fit under the Black category, so you gonna get
the Black treatment.
You gonna get Black. Now it's not always bad, so I don't want to paint that picture. But
we want you to be prepared.
We do deal with things I think other people don't. And I think you got to realize that when you're here, when you are the minority in any situation, you pretty much are not going to get equal treatment. It's almost impossible with human beings.
Yeah.
So I don't blame America really for that. When you're in the minority, I don't care where you go. Almost all places, the minority is not going to get the same exact treatment. But in America, it's still a place where you can make some things happen.
Yep, there's a lot of opportunities there, for sure. And so as we're sharing this information, we know some people are going to be like, oh no, y'all just a bunch of complainers. Black Americans, all they do is complain. They don't see the opportunities. And what I would say to that is, Germaine, I would ask you, why do you think people feel like they have to live it before they believe it? Because it's like sometimes when people are outside of the country, they don't believe it. But when we talk to people who have moved from their home country to the U.S., why do they get it? Why do you think people have to live it before they believe it?
I think people here have the same problem we have in the U.S., and I mean everybody in the U.S. We don't do deep dives in research.
Yeah.
We just see some things on the internet or on the news, especially that news, man. That news, it fools Americans about Africa, and it fools Africa about Americans. So we have to have more dialogue, really, right? Not just assuming you know something that you haven't experienced, because you have no idea. The thing about, we used to have a thing about the police, right? I'm not against the police in the U.S. because sometimes you got to call the police, somebody acting donkey, right? But at the same time, I've seen injustices, right? So I can't act like they don't exist. And if you haven't lived in my shoes or anyone that look like me, you cannot really judge and say, right? And I'm not saying it's American police, because police does stuff here too, right? It's just different how it looks. So, and this is the thing about being an American, right? We all have learned to speak up. Right. So when we see an injustice, it doesn't matter if other people don't agree. We still gonna say something, and same thing here, right? So we bring that here. If I see an injustice, especially if you're doing injustice to me, it's time to speak up.
I mean, so that just goes on to our next point. Like, we have to have unity. Like, we have to have unity between not just all people, but we have to have unity between Africans and Black Americans, and we have to understand like the systematic things that have been put in place to cause disunity. So instead of calling each other entitled or ignorant or whatever, we have to start having these deeper conversations so we can understand each other and understand that sometimes our struggles are the same. They're just on a different language, different geographical location.
Right.
Because like you said, they have their struggles with the police here. We have our struggles with the police in the U.S., right?
Right. But at the same time, we all have family members of the police, right?
Exactly.
You have to put all these factors in perspective. This is the thing about unity, right? And I think both sides need to realize the other has something to bring. Like when we say, hey, I want air conditioning here. More than not, we get, you don't need air conditioning. I'm 51. I know what I need. No, I know what I want. And if I see it, they have it here. I think I should. Why shouldn't I have it? Right. And truthfully, I want Kenyans to have the same standard. This is, why can't I have it? It's here. Why shouldn't we get it? Now, and so we need to make a plan to get it. I think the infrastructure could be better here, right?
For sure.
I think this is something that can be, it's going to take a while, but it's something that can be demanded by the people, but they have to be united.
Exactly.
Right? So I think Black Americans ourselves have something to actually bring to Kenya, a different mindset. I be honest with you, I see Kenyans getting mistreated here by other people, and I don't like it myself. Sometimes, like, I get angry, I'm about to say something, I say, well, I got to back up because I don't know if it's going to cost this person their job, but I think there has to be a stand made, right? So, but us in America, like, Why you let this person talk to you that way, right? But we have to understand, right?
Yeah.
It's deeper than just that.
Yeah.
So, but I think Kenyans have to do the same also.
Yeah.
So we have something to bring here too, y'all.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone from the diaspora who still thinks we're just privileged because we're Americans and we have the easy life, so we just need to chill, sit back, and be quiet?
We are privileged. We do have an easier life, I will say. But why am I going to chill? That makes no sense. There's still injustices, right?
Right. We still have children and grandchildren,
and
great-grandchildren.
they still got to eat one day when they come, right? So I have to still do things with that in mind.
Right.
So I'm not just going to sit back
and rest on our laurels.
And just be honest with you, as Christian, right? Christian man, I'm not supposed to just sit back and do nothing.
Right.
If I see injustice, I'm supposed to do something or say something about it or put something in place for it not to happen again. So yeah, I'm not just going to sit back and I'm going to open my mouth about it. And I advise everyone else to do it. And actually, I've seen Kenyans before we came unite. Right, and do something about it. So yes, we don't know what's behind it, right? Exactly, right? We don't know like that.
Yeah.
But we're like, okay, the people united, they must want something. It's the same thing with us. When you see more Black Americans, we all unite in a particular subject. Think it may be something behind it.
It's true. So if you guys are watching, and whether you're Caribbean, African, or American, let us know down in the comment section. Drop your stories in the comment section. Let's talk about it. If you've been thinking about moving abroad, and like say for instance, you're in the U.S. and you're thinking about moving abroad, and you want to know how is it in Africa, you can ask us whatever questions you want. And if you are in Africa, anywhere in Africa, and you want to move to the U.S. and you have questions for us, or you're not sure what to ask, let us know in the comment section, because sometimes my daughter has this saying, she says, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And sometimes we don't know the questions to ask. So if you don't know the questions to ask and you want us to share more information, we'd be glad to share more information. We'll clip up some of the comments we get from other Kenyans who have moved to the U.S. and who express, these are the things I'm dealing with. The lack of community. Being now understanding what it is to be a Black person and be discriminated against because of the color of my skin, or not being able to make friends, or the weather, all different kinds of things that you have to deal with when you move to another country.
Right. Oh,
so let
I
us
didn't
know.
think about the weather.
Yeah, it's an adjustment. Like it's like if a Kenyan person moves to the U.S. and they say, "Oh, I need a heater." I'm not going to tell them, you don't need no heater. You ain't have no heater in Kenya. I'm like, no, if they say they need a heater, they need a heater.
Yeah.
So let me ask you another question before we wrap up. What's one thing, Germaine, you wish more people knew before packing up and moving abroad thinking it'll fix everything? Because I think Kenyans move to the U.S. thinking it's going to fix everything.
And vice versa, right?
Yeah.
I'll start from the Kenya side, right? There's no secret that the foreigners America wants is the ones that has a particular skill, one that can go Ivy League, something like that. But a worker that's going to work in McDonald's, they don't necessarily need that, and they don't care if you come. Matter of fact, they probably don't want you to come, just to be honest with you. And just because you go to America doesn't mean you're not going to be poor, because we have homeless on the streets. We have more homeless than you have here. You do have a better opportunity, right, to not be homeless, but you're probably going to be on the bottom end of the financial scale if you don't have a particular skill. You can, but America's a place you can work your way up. But
sure.
And are you ready for the morals and values sometimes that we don't have? Because you're going to see some things you don't see over
some
here.
things you've never seen before, you've never experienced before.
Right. Not even on the movies.
Yeah. And the stuff you've seen on the movies that you think is fake?
Nah, it's real.
Yes.
Right. And the same thing with Americans, especially Black Americans moving over here. I know we see the welcome home and all that, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man, nobody really cares that you come over here as a American, right? Especially a Black American. You know what you are? A Mazunga. That's just what you are. I've had many people. Now you have people that welcome me. No, you're not a Mzunga. Those people, hey, thank you. But for the most part, people say you're Mzunga. Just to be honest, and Mzunga means traveler /
foreigner,
white. I know people
person,
in the comments say, no, it means other things. I'm telling you what people tell me what it means. The people I see out here in these streets live, they say, you, white man, no difference.
Equal.
He's same. So
Same.
I don't have a problem with that because I actually kind of like that. It's not really a race thing to a certain extent. I mean, it is what it is. But realize you're not going to come over here and people think you are Kenyan. You don't speak the same. You don't know anything about Kenya, but where it is, it's in the Horn of Africa. I don't know if everybody knows that.
I know.
Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So, but this is a place here also, especially with your American dollars, you can come over here and build a good, peaceful life because it is peaceful here. And much more peaceful than the U.S., I will say that. So just be prepared for that because there's a lot of stuff you don't know about here too. But
For
you
sure.
see, we still here. We love it. I got the shirt on. So
Yes, for sure. And if you guys are watching, if you lived in more than one country, how did your view of race and privilege change living in that country? We'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section below. And if you guys are thinking about moving to Kenya or moving abroad and you want to talk to someone who's been in the game, got boots on the ground, click the link in our description box and you can schedule a consultation with us. And otherwise, make sure you drop a like on this video so that we can continue to show up in your YouTube feed. And then don't forget to subscribe to our channel because when we get to 10,000 subscribers, we are going to do an ancestry test because we really want to see like where on the continent.
see if you're a Luya or not.
Yeah.
Because they dropped the Luo. They said Luya now. Okay, me, I'm from everywhere. I'm South Africa,
Ethiopia,
Kikuyu,
Sudan, they tell everything you from.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. Yeah.
We'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
All right, y'all.